throne. Well, joining me to discuss the significance of these new changes is the international affairs analyst and director of the Global Strategy Project, Marco Vicenzino. Marco, thanks a lot. This has taken everyone by surprise. Why do you think the king has made this decision?
It's basically, it's inevitable and it's necessary. Inevitable in the sense there has to be a shift in generation, and necessary because of the fact that since the kingdom was founded in 1932 by King Abdulaziz, he lasted until his death in 1953. All the next 6 kings have been all his sons, now in their old age, so it's time for a shift. And the new crown prince, Mohammed bin Nayef, is the first of the grandchildren of King Abdulaziz. And also there's the fact that you look at the regional changes taking place. The region is fairly turbulent at the present time. A new generation has to come into power. And there's another element. One is for King Salman to obviously secure and consolidate his line to the succession of the throne and those around him in his inner circle.
You say there's a generational shift as a result of this. Just why was it so important that that generational shift happened? Because this this new guy, Mohammed, is very young, isn't he?
Well, there's two. There's the crown prince, who's Mohammed bin Nayef, the nephew of current King Salman, who's the interior minister. Very reliable, very effective, and have been very well respected by allies, particularly the United States. He's been on the front line in the struggle against extremism. So he has he has all the credibility necessary. While the son of King Salman, Mohammed bin Salman, it is in his early 30s, and he's a very trusted confidant. His father, he's very close to his father. He's the head of the royal court. He's also the defense minister responsible for executing the current conflict in Yemen. He himself, Mohammed bin Salman, still has to prove himself. The idea is that within 15, 20 years, they'll prepare him for the monarchy. But in the meantime, much will depend upon the outcome of the current conflict in Yemen and other things in the future.
Is this something of an ideological shift, do you think? Is this an attempt to maybe stop another Arab Spring from taking place?
There's two things here. It's not an ideological shift. It's a generational shift, as discussed. Secondly, in terms, if we look at the word Arab Spring, I would use the word Arab uprising, and one has to distinguish. There's the Arab that took place there's the North Africa and the countries of the Levant, where these Arab uprisings took place, and the Gulf countries. Where the Arab uprising took place, those were popular uprising against the status quo. While in the Gulf states and Saudi Arabia, there's been much more economic and political stability, and as a result, there was a lot more, there wasn't that reaction, that public reaction. They've been a lot more responsible in using all the proceeds of the energy factor, and plus there was a commodity booms of the early 2000s, which helped stabilize the situation.
Is there any way of gauging what the Saudi Arabian public have made of these new appointments?
Well respected. Like I said, the interior minister, the crown prince now, very much well respected. Once again, he's been, you look in recent days, over 100 IS members, suspected members who were arrested. So he's been very effective on that front. There's also, in terms of Adel Al-Jubeir, who's the new foreign minister, extremely well seasoned, was an official at the U.S. Embassy, Saudi Embassy in D.C. In the 90s, effective spokesman after 9/11, trusted by King Abdullah, and now he's ambassador to the U.S., and now he's worked his way up to foreign minister, very well seasoned.
Given that there has been this generational shift and that many people in Saudi Arabia are under the age of 30, I think it's about a third of the population, can we expect to see more big changes like this coming in the future?
I wouldn't say you have to do domestic and foreign policy. If you're looking within Saudi Arabia, it'll be largely continuity in the immediate future. In the long term, there'll be gradual evolutionary shift within the context of a society steeped in tradition and hierarchy. And the key thing is that the royal family, the monarchy, has to be responsive to the needs of the people, which it has been, but with times it needs to adapt. It'll be slow evolutionary change. On the foreign policy front, it'll be more of a proactive, aggressive, and muscular foreign policy throughout the region, particularly on the Arabian Peninsula, which is a shift from the previous times of after the Arab uprisings under King Abdullah. Saudi foreign policy was fairly reactive.
Marco Vicenzino, thank you very much indeed.
Thank
All
you.
very interesting. Thanks for coming in.